Commander SciFi of the Altarian Space Academy watched the human pilot with barely concealed disgust. Lieutenant Jake "Wildcard" Morrison had just completed the standard fighter simulation, and failed spectacularly by every metric that mattered to civilized spacefaring species. "Your approach vector violated 3 safety protocols," SciFi's translator crackled with disapproval. "You exceeded maximum G-force limits by 40%. You performed an inverted spiral maneuver that should have torn your craft apart. And you fired weapons while in an uncontrolled spin." Jake shrugged, pulling off his neural interface helmet. "Yeah, but I hit the target." "That is irrelevant." SciFi's 4 wings fluttered in agitation. Galactic Coalition pilots prioritize survival, formation integrity, and calculated risk. You humans fly like you have a death wish. The accusation wasn't new. Since humanity joined the coalition 3 years ago, their pilots had been labeled reckless, suicidal, and dangerously unpredictable. Human fighters broke formation, ignored standard engagement protocols, and performed maneuvers that made alien crews physically ill just watching the telemetry. But Admiral Korthak, the grizzled Draconid commander of the Coalition Defense Fleet, had heard enough complaints. He called for a demonstration that would settle the matter once and for all. "We will run the Kalis Gauntlet," Korthak announced to the assembled instructors and pilots. "The most difficult combat simulation in Coalition history. 37 hostile fighters, asteroid field navigation, capital ship assault, and civilian evacuation, all simultaneously." The room fell silent. The Kalis Gauntlet had a completion rate of 8% among elite Coalition pilots. Most didn't survive the first wave. "Humans will fly first," Korthak growled. "Then we will see who is truly reckless." Jake and his squadron, call signs Wildcard, Viper, Banshee, and Ghost, entered their simulators. The alien observers watched the tactical displays with skeptical eyes. The simulation began. What happened next would be studied in military academies for generations. The human pilots didn't follow standard attack patterns. They improvised, adapted, turned every limitation into an advantage. When Viper's shields failed, she used an asteroid as cover while performing a slingshot maneuver that put her behind 3 enemy fighters. When Banshee's weapons overheated, he rammed his fighter into a hostile ship's engine port, ejecting at the last microsecond. Jake lived up to his call sign, pulling a maneuver that made even Admiral Korthak's blood run cold. He flew directly into the enemy capital ship's hangar bay, released all ordnance internally, and escaped through the explosion's shockwave. "Impossible," SciFi whispered. "The timing required, the spatial awareness, no organic being could." Ghost, the squadron's quietest member, completed the civilian evacuation by flying her damaged fighter as a decoy, drawing fire while the transport escaped. She was shot down. Her simulated fighter exploded. But the mission succeeded. When the simulation ended, the display showed results that made every alien in the room check their translators for errors. Mission complete. Time, 14 minutes, 22 seconds. Casualties, 0 civilians, 1 fighter. Enemy elimination, 100%. The previous record was 43 minutes with 60% civilian casualties. Admiral Korthak's laughter rumbled through the chamber. "Still think they are reckless, Commander SciFi?" The Altarian instructor stared at the humans climbing out of their simulators, joking and celebrating as if they hadn't just rewritten tactical doctrine. "No," SciFi said quietly. I think we've been flying wrong this whole time." Jake overheard and grinned. "We're not reckless, Commander. We're from Earth. Where we come from, the sky itself tried to kill us for millions of years. We learned to fly by defying gravity, defying physics, defying every rule that said we should stay on the ground." He tapped his temple. "Reckless is flying without purpose. We fly with precision, instinct, and one ironclad rule: bring everyone home. The coalition updated their pilot training manuals that night. The new section was titled, Human Flight Dynamics, Controlled Chaos.